So between last vlog and this vlog, which both happened on the same night, session at Commerce, session at Hollywood Park, it is my most successful day playing 5-5.
What's up, guys? I'm Chuck. Welcome to Happy Face Holdem. These are my Charlie cards, and these are my fancy Charlie chips. We'd like to rack up more of these at the end of every session than we started with. Why do we call this Happy Face Holdem? Well, we have a happy face mode right into the side of the hill in the town I live in. This is vlog number 35, playing late night.
What's up, guys? Just got the Hollywood Park Casino. The airplanes fly in like right here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anyways, we'll see you inside.
And as a reminder, this story started about 2.5 hours earlier in my last vlog. Take a look. I'll put a card up top. All right. In our first hand here at Hollywood Park, we buy into the 5-5 for 500. Very first hand, we sat down into the cutoff, dealt King 10 suited. Love the suited Broadway cards. Flop comes down, 2 spades, 2 aces. We miss every last bit of this, and the action checks around. And I actually opened this hand to $10 and had 2 callers. So we're 3 ways here. Turn, interesting card, brings down another ace. And, you know, I raised pre-flop. I checked the flop. Not sure my story makes a whole lot of sense, but I put about a bet of 20 bucks. Thinking King High might just be good here. After all, nobody seems very interested in this hand, and we do get 1 caller. So we're going heads up to a river, which pairs the 6. So full house on the board. Quite interesting. He checks. I just check back. And, of course, chop, chop. And let's move on to hand number 2. All right, and this is my first time ever playing indoors at Hollywood Park. It's pretty nice here, very clean. The chips are super clean, the table's super clean. Not a whole lot of depth on the felt, so you can see it's a little difficult for me to pick up my cards. But when I do get them up, you see I have pocket 9s in middle position. I open to $25. I get 1 caller, and the blinds both fold out. So $60 in, heads up to a King 10-5 flop. 2 clubs, yeah, 2 overs. I don't have a whole lot to go with here, but again, I open, I have range advantage. I definitely have the nut advantage. I could have all the kings, aces, kings, queens, ace, king, king, queen here. So I decide to continuation bet for $30. And the player to my left deliberates his decision for quite a while, and I'm not quite sure what he's thinking about. So he eventually makes the call for 30. We're still heads up to the turn, which is the 3 of spades. You know, it was interesting that he took so long to call, but I think at this point I have to put him on a king or a draw, and he's only got about 110 behind. So I check it over to him, and he goes ahead and commits his whole stack. So again, I'm pretty sure I'm beat here. But you know, I'm beat by ace, king, king, queen, king 10, king, jack. But I think an opponent short stacked like this on this board could easily be on a draw, a club, or the backdoor spade draw at this point. So I opt to call, pretty a light call, definitely a light call. 2 of spades doesn't help us out at all, and the villain does roll over king 6. So I guess his deliberation was his kicker any good? I don't know. So I pay him off. You know, maybe at this point I should have just stayed at Commerce, because we're down, you know, $150 now in our first 2 hands. All right. Third hand, under the gun, 1. We look down at pocket 5s in this one. And this is a limp pot, 4 ways. There was no pre-flop raise action. Flop comes down 4, 6, jack. Not bad. We have a backdoor straight draw and a pair. I probably should have bet this flop, but didn't. Turn card comes 3 of spades after the action, checked all the way through on the flop. And I decided it's time to put a little money in this pot, so I throw out a bet of 15. We get a caller and 1 caller. So river is the 4 of spades. We totally miss our straight, and the player to my right elects to lead out on this one for $45. So, I mean, I could be good, but he could have hit his jack. He could have hit his backdoor flush. He could have 4X in his hand. Just too many hands that beat me there. I elect to lay down my pocket 5s. All right, in this one, we're under the gun. We look down at ace 7 of spades, and we open the action to $20 and get 2 callers. Definitely have been the aggressor in this game. I've noticed here at Hollywood Park there is a lot of limping going on. I'm not used to that. At Commerce, we usually go, heads up 3 ways to flops. Here, there's been a lot of limping pre-flop, so I definitely took advantage of all the limping and want to punish the limpers with a little bit of aggression pre-flop. All right, 8, 4, 6, 2 diamonds on this flop. We have a gutter to the straight and an over. So I am not done with my aggression here. I put out a small bet of 20. I don't think I need to bet big here, just targeting basically every holding. I would continuation bet with most of my holdings in this situation anyways on this board, and could balance my range with a check here. But with the diamonds, I did elect to put out a bet. All right, the turn card is of 0 help to me anyways, 2 of hearts. And this time the action is going to check all the way through. So free river card. Wow, 5 of spades. Didn't see that coming. We drill our straight. We have to love it. So with 120 in the pot, I think this is a time where, as the pre-flop aggressor and the flop better, I have to bet very polarized here, either repping the straight or just trying to steal the pot, repping a steal. So I overbet it by a couple bucks, but nobody takes the bait. They fold, and we start to recover some of the chips we gave away in our first few hands. All right, in this next one, I'm in the big blind. There was a middle position raised to 25, and I just call it. I think being out of position, there's merit for 3-betting, but out of position, I just decide not suited. I just elect to call. Now, interesting, after the flop, we're 5 ways. The small blind leads out for 50. He was not the pre-flop aggressor. But he decides to take the betting lead right here. I think when this happens, this means he could have like middle pair, wants to name his own price. He might even have hit top pair in this case, but likely he's trying to name his own price on like a middle pair, ace 9, 8, 9, maybe something like 9 jack with a draw, or definitely like a 7, 8. That's been my experience. What do you think in the comments? What do you think a donk lead in this situation means? I think into 5 player you got to be strong, but I just didn't take this player as being very strong. Turn comes down the 3 of clubs. It really doesn't change a whole lot, if anything. It really doesn't change anything at all, in my opinion. I don't know. But back to what I was saying about his donk lead there, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If he's strong, if he's on a draw. But he continues his story. I mean, he had no problem putting $75 out there, and it took me a little bit to consider if I wanted to call. But I've seen Joe play here. His name's Joe, and he folded to a lot of river bets as the night went on. So that's kind of what I was thinking, is there's some opportunity here still for me. My 2 overs, I could definitely be good. So when the 10 of spades comes down and pairs the board, it was a perfect opportunity for me to put the rest of my stack in. I wasn't very deep at this point. I put in 205, and it was definitely a scary enough card that he let this one go. All right, so after that hand, we have successfully gotten back every chip plus some that we had lost in the first few hands. I think I was down 250 in the first 3 hands I played, and then waited a couple orbits to get back into the action. So in this one, under the gun, look down at ace 4 suited of the club variety. Definitely going to get aggressive with this, and I get 3 callers to come to the flop with me. So we're 4 ways to a $100 pot, and see a flop of deuce, king, queen with 2 clubs. All right, that's the way we like to see it. So definitely flush draw, 1 over. I am not going to slow down. This board should connect well with any of the pre-flop callers ranges, so I do go slightly over half the pot and bet 55 here. I think I could have even bet 75 or 90 on this flop and gotten some more action and had enough equity to make it the right bet. And that's something I'm working on, is a larger bet sizes. So anyways, 2 of the opponents decide to fold out, and we're going to go heads up with Joe again to my right to a turn, which comes down the 4 of diamonds. All right, so we now have 3rd pair, our flush draw, and 1 over. So I think we're in a very good spot. It does bring in a backdoor diamond draw, which shouldn't be of any real big concern. So Joe does check it over to me. He plays in flow this time, and I elect to cut out a bet of about a third of the pot, $75. Again, Joe had been fishing a lot, calling a lot of bets, and folding on a lot of rivers. Joe was a strong player, though, as I was learning, and I got to play another session with Joe later on, which was really cool to meet him again. But he takes a long time. He goes into the tank to decide what to do on this one. And again, I was about 580 behind to start, and Joe has me covered. He's got 700 or 800 sitting in front of him, so he does elect to call. The river comes down the 5 of clubs, so we complete our flush, we sit with the nuts, and Joe does something weird. He donk leads here for 125. So to me, again, this shows a lot of strength. So I'm thinking he flopped 2 pair, king deuce, king queen, and did some Hollywood. Maybe he turned 2 pair or has rivered 2 pair. So if I'm going to put in 150, 125 here, it's only going to leave me with about 300 behind, so I just put it all in. So 350 behind, I put it all in. And Joe actually ponders this for quite some time. He really has a big decision to make here, which is why I'm kind of putting him on 2 pair. So let's think about it. He called the pre-flop raise, which wasn't too big, playing out of position. He called a half pot and then a third pot bet. What's he thinking with here? I still think king deuce, king queen, or king 4 2 pair, possibly turn 2 pair with queen 4 hearts, or possibly queen 4 clubs, and also made a flush on the river. This was a really tough one. Anyways, he elects to lay this one down. We're going to take down this $890 pot, and he went on to say if that flush wouldn't have got there, that damn flush card. So nice to take this one down. So we've bluffed Joe off a hand, and we have legitimately taken one down, but failed to get value in both, which, how do I get some value out of Joe? Maybe I just keep making the same polarizing bets, and eventually we get them. But we love stacking up these Charlie chips, so it's a great sight to see. Okay, this is a very interesting hand. I'm on the button, and there was an early position open to 20, and I decide to defend my king 8 suited here. I think it's the right play. It definitely could be a 3-bet spot, but no need to get out of line just yet. We're definitely chipped up, sitting on about 900 at this point. And what a beautiful flop. 3 king 8 2 hearts. We flop 2 pair and a backdoor flush draw. And interesting that the action is going to check all the way around to me. The preflop aggressor did not continue on this board, but I have to imagine this board connects well with somebody's range calling 20 preflop. So with that king out there and the flush draw, I decide to size up. I bet 60 into the pot of 80, targeting any king holding, king, queen, ace, king, and any flush draw. Definitely want to charge for the draws on this one. Somebody has to have something, please. Anyways, the small blind decides to call, and we're going to go heads up to a turn, which is a 10 of diamonds. So now brings in a second flush draw, and he decides to check over to me. On this one, I have to decide what is the right amount to bet. So I bet 110, slightly over half the pot. If he calls, then I'm going to proceed with caution, because I think king 10 could definitely be a 2-pair holding here. But aside from that, I'm targeting weaker kings, king, queen, ace, king, king, jack type hands. Well, the river is a miracle. We fill up. Love it. King's full of 8s. And interesting action here at Hollywood Park Casino. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it as much in any other game than I have here tonight. You guessed it. The small blind donk leads for 150. Now, granted, pretty small bet into this sizable pot that we built up. We're pretty bloated. So he only has about 150 behind. I elect to jam, and he insta-mucks. All right, no value on the river except for his donk lead, which we will take. It's time to rack up, cash out, and get to the end of session update.
All right, guys, quick end of session update from inside Hollywood Park Casino. I played here out in the tent, but tonight was the first time playing indoors ever here. So we were in the 5-5 game for 500, out for 1165. I'll do the math and I'll put it right here because it's late, it's midnight. and I have a 45-minute drive home. Anyways, came over here to Hollywood Park to meet up with this guy.
We're back again. We're back again.
This guy, man, he started our Vegas meetup game. He got it together. We just call him, in our little group, we call him Stalker.
The stalker.
So watch for the Stalker's vlog. He's going to start a vlog soon.
Soon, hopefully, we'll see. We'll see.
He's got other things to do, but
got other things.
he's going to start a vlog soon. So
We're here at Hollywood, and we'll see how it goes.
action's good here.
Yeah, it
we
is.
make it down here. I think I like Commerce a little better, bigger.
Yeah.
There's only 3 or 4 games that
But we
I
gotta
have
hop.
going.
We can't be at one place. We gotta keep hopping and hopping.
Yeah.
So
Vlog watchers were getting bored of watching me crush it at Commerce, so they made me come here.
true.
All right. Thanks for catching up, Ricardo.
All right, guys.
Catch you later, man.
You guys take care.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.